Welcome back to story time. Alright. So, for today, you know what? I'm going to try out some editing just for fun. Let's see if I can do this. Better. A little bit lighter. Hopefully that all looks good when I try to make some magic with it. Alright, so for today's video, you can probably guess what the story is going to be about. This is the pellet gun fun. So, long time ago, obviously, my oldest brother had, I think from a garage sale, had to have been, he got a pellet gun. Actually, I think it was one that we had before, but they're still sold now. It's the, if you've ever seen the model, it is a metal pellet gun, but it's got the longer barrel, and it has the wooden, or what looks like wood, pump underneath. So what happens is while you're holding it, instead of using the CO2 cartridge or something else, you would just start pumping it, and you're supposed to pump it like 10 times, maybe 15. Now, my brother decided that he was going to clean this pellet gun. And in his genius little mind, it was, hey, I'm going to clean it by using wet Q-tips. So what he would do, he would put a Q-tip into the barrel of this pellet gun, and then he would, it'd be wet, and then he would pump it. And after he'd pumped it about 10, 15 times, he would then shoot the pellet gun. This is not the proper way to clean a pellet gun. Not that they really need to be cleaned much, but if any kids are listening to this, this does not mean that you should go take pellet guns or firearms and try helping your dad or mom clean them by putting wet Q-tips in. Don't do that. Now, normally, pellet guns should only be used under adult supervision. There's my warning. You should always have adult supervision. My brother didn't. He just found the pellet gun, started cleaning it, started using it for fun. So, as we might have talked about before, we had some neighbors. One of these neighbors decided to come over, and just like any other little kid, he was being annoying at this point, and he was bugging my brother. Now, I'm sitting there with my brother because I'd come out and I'd seen him cleaning it. I thought it was kind of cool that he was just, shooting random things with a pellet gun with a Q-tip. So the neighbor comes over and just starts talking. And talking, and talking, and talking, and won't shut up. He won't stop talking. I'm getting annoyed. I can tell my older brother's getting annoyed because my older brother has now said 3 or 4 times, hey, you're bugging me, go home. You're bugging me, go home. Knock it off, you're bugging me, go home. Now, keep in mind, when the neighbor first came over, my brother had just loaded a Q-tip in. And he started to pump. And the entire time the neighbor is talking, my brother's just pumping and pumping and pumping. The neighbor probably is not thinking about this or caring at all. And he was there for a good 5, maybe even 10 minutes. And my brother just keeps pumping and pumping. Now, don't recommend that because these guns you should only pump so many times, otherwise you can break them. My brother didn't care, or probably didn't know, both. And the neighbor at this point is getting more and more annoying and more rude because he's been told to go home several times, and he just won't. I would say he couldn't take a hint, but there was no hinting at this point. It was just, hey, you're annoying, go home. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And both of us had said to him, hey, you should probably go home. Hey, you might want to go home. We even tried saying, hey, I think your mom's calling you. He still didn't go. So my brother's getting really aggravated at this point. And I'm starting to wonder, why don't we just go inside of our own house and get away from the neighbor? And then just before I can even ask this question, I look at my brother's face, and while the neighbor is still talking and being really annoying, my brother is slowly counting, and I happen to hear him saying 75, 76, 77. I'm thinking, you pumped that thing over 70 times. I don't think the Q-tip is going to do much. The neighbor's still getting annoying. And I turned and I said, you might want to go home. You're really bothering him. This isn't going to end well. And he just keeps talking. And at some point, I think he even started insulting us and tried doing like yo mama jokes. Really annoying. Well, the neighbor is standing probably about 5 feet away from my brother. And he is between my brother and the backyard fence. So it's not likely to go out. My brother, I can hear him as the neighbor is talking and still saying something. My brother has already turned once again and said, "Hey, go home, you're annoying me." And I think he might have even given him a warning, whatever. But I can hear my brother say, and he's got a smile on his face now. I know from my older brother that means he is going to do something because he's plotting it in his mind. And I hear and watch as my older brother pulls it up and says, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Do you know what's going to happen? Yeah. Not a good thing to happen, but it was still funny. 100. The neighbor's not caring anymore what my brother's saying. Just as my brother hits 100, he kind of looks it around, checks to make sure that the gun's not about to blow up on him, turns to the neighbor, points it at his thigh, and just shoots the pellet gun. A wet Q-tip from 5 feet away from a pellet gun that is overly pumped. No blood that I know of, but I'm pretty sure a gnarly bruise came from this, or at least a great welt, as it smacked the neighbor in the thigh, and it took a moment for him to realize what just happened, and then he started yelling. And then, of course, like any little kid who's just gotten hurt, as he's running home, which is next door, he's screaming, "I'm going to tell my mom!" To which my older brother goes, "Oh, crap, I didn't think about that one. Oh, I'm going inside." And so we both quickly walk inside. I went to watch TV, and I know my brother went to go put the pellet gun away, hoping that my parents would not be called. Now, I do not remember if parents were called. I don't think they were. And Mom, if you're watching this, yeah, your oldest son shot the neighbor with a pellet gun in the thigh. He not deserved it. I mean, nobody deserves to be shot by a pellet gun. But he didn't listen to warnings. And what happens when you don't listen to warnings? You can get hurt. So, not justifying it, but it was a really funny memory. Yeah. So, be careful with pellet guns. Don't shoot them at people. But that was still hilarious to watch. So, I hope you enjoyed story time. If you want to, like and subscribe. Doesn't hurt. Have a great day.